Okay, well, good morning. Good morning. How are we doing? Good morning. It's lovely to see you. We can start with a clap. I love it. So glad to have you. So honored to be with you. So because this special institution, Tarleton State, is both about community and about people, we'd like to ask that you turn to somebody, your right or left, and just tell them, I am so glad that you're here today. I'm so glad you're here. It is an honor. That's right. Today is about connecting with others. It's about celebrating big wins and small wins to get us to this historic moment. It is a privilege, an absolute privilege, to welcome you to Tarleton State Fort Worth for today's special ceremony, a ceremony celebrating, in fact, the opening of this transformational space that we're sitting in here. And it's quite beautiful, isn't it? It's quite beautiful. If you look up, you can see just transformation, you can see opportunity, you can see access to the windows to some of your right. You can see what we stand for as an institution. And it's an institution here in Fort Worth, Texas, that has been serving this great city since 1978. You'll be able to hear a little bit about the trailblazers who made our beginnings possible in just a moment. With today also, we're celebrating a mark and a milestone. With the cutting of today's ribbon, we will strengthen our commitment both to education and healthcare. My name is Dr. Rachel Capua, and I have the tremendous honor of serving as our Vice President for External Operations and Dean of our Tarleton State Fort Worth campus, and I am honored to serve as your MC for today's special event. Today, we will also celebrate the growing campus that you see here today. Our campus on Chisholm Trail Parkway is built with purpose and intention. The architecture, the landscaping, even the art that you see here today, many of which was sourced here by artists in Fort Worth, Texas, in Granbury, in Crowley, and our neighboring communities. We also love the marriage between our historic and rich history in Stephenville, Texas, as well as here in Cowtown. In addition to the opening of IPE, this fall also marked the first time that we welcomed freshmen and sophomores, first year and second year students here at Tarleton State Fort Worth. And we also welcomed a new partnership with Crowley ISD. In fact, we have over 200 students with us throughout this semester. They're here 5 days a week. You may see the school buses come in. Those are our Crowley students, and many of them are actually learning on the third floor of this building right now. They are learning, they are living, they are thriving. I know Dr. McFarland is here, his team is here, and we are so honored to have them. It's been one of our most favorite partnerships of the academic year. Specific to this building, we want to share a couple of things before we give some welcome to individuals. This 102,000 square feet space and $66 million facility that we're sitting in today affords us the opportunity to create more opportunities for students. And that's what we are here about. That's why we are here to celebrate. During today's experience specifically, you will see the state-of-the-art labs. You will see study areas, informal and formal. You will see state-of-the-art classrooms and much more. And I'll share a little bit about that at the end of today's program. But first, we have a lot of thank yous to give. Thank you to the support of the Texas A&M System Board of Regents, Chancellor John Sharp, and Tarleton State University President Dr. James Hurley. We strive to enhance the quality of generational impact, of family impact, of the reasons why we get up every single day, why our team and our faculty and staff are so honored to serve this wonderful institution. We're going beyond, in fact, what we have known to be true today to what we're shaping for tomorrow's future. Before introducing the first speaker, we want to recognize a few special guests. We are about to do a lot of clapping, okay? A lot of clapping, but I promise every single individual and every single group that's about to be recognized is so worthy of the applause. First, and if you'll kindly stand for us so that we can recognize you, we have our Chancellor of the Texas A&M System. Please help me welcome John Sharp. Thank you, Chancellor, for being with us. We also have our visionary leader. Of any institution, it requires visionary leadership, and it's no different here at Tarleton State University. Please help me welcome Tarleton State President and our very first lady, Dr. James and Kendall Hurley. Thank you, Kendall, for being here. We also have many elected officials, and if I may, I'm going to read all of the names. If you'll kindly stand, and then we'll applause at the end of this portion. First is Jerome Vanesi, representing Congresswoman Kay Granger from the 12th District of Texas. Next is, please stand, Molly Bateman, representing Senator Phil King from Senate District 10, Our City of Fort Worth Mayor and Champion of Education, Mayor Maddie Parker. The 43rd Mayor of Fort Worth, Tarleton State alumnus and former student body president, a little fact for you, Mike Moncrief. District 6 Councilman Dr. Jared Williams, and all city council members from the City of Fort Worth, City of Crowley, and our neighboring communities. If you'll please stand, and let's recognize them all today. Thank you so much. We also are so thrilled to celebrate other mayors and individuals that are with us. And we have one in particular as well. The City of Fort Worth mayor has joined us. We have our former mayors in leadership. And we also have our current mayor of Weatherford, Paul Pascal, and his wife, Courtney, who are also Tarleton State grads. Thank you for being here today. Next, we have at least 4 ISD superintendents with us, 2 of whom are Tarleton State graduates. If you'll please stand, as well as all representatives from our ISD partners, trustees, and any representative from your leadership team so that we can honor you. To those whom I have the honor to call colleagues, members of the President's Executive Cabinet and academic deans, will you please stand to be recognized? For those joining us from the Tarleton State Alumni Foundation and Rodeo Boards, thank you for your leadership. Can you please stand, and thank you for joining this special celebration. So much of today, so much of why we're here, the individuals who brought this incredible building to fruition, is many that we wanted to take a moment to recognize as well. If you are with Perkins and Will, our architects, Holder Construction, Joris General Contractors, the Texas A&M System Facilities Planning and Construction Team, the Tarleton State Campus Operations, and anyone who had a place to play in this really special building, if you'll please stand to be recognized. Thank you so much for all that you've done. We'd also like to express our sincere appreciation to the many individuals who worked diligently and passionately to make this grand opening possible. Would members of President Hurley's office, the President's Office, University Strategy, Marketing Communications, Campus Operations, Information Technology, the College of Health Sciences, and the College of Math and Science, as well as our Division for External Operations, please stand so we can thank you. So now, it is a tremendous honor to introduce the individual who leads our remarkable institution. Since being named Tarleton State's 16th president in fall of 2019, Dr. Hurley has led our university to incredible heights. His signature initiatives include powerful enrollment growth, creative student funding, vigorous partnerships both with ISDs, and we're so thrilled Fort Worth ISD, Dr. Molinar is here today as well, innovative research, robust collaborations with businesses and community college partners, especially Tarrant County College, and our move to NCAA Division I athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the 16th president of Tarleton State University, Dr. James Hurley.
Thank you, Dr. Kapp. And if any of you feel left out and you want to stand up and allow us to honor you, now's your time. Dr. Kapp has brought incredible leadership and vision and passion for not only this campus, but to the institution, and certainly a member of Fort Worth here in the city. So, Dr. Kapp, thanks for your leadership. Today is, let's give her a big hand. Today is another extraordinary milestone for not only Tarleton State University, the Texas A&M system, but the city of Fort Worth as well. I remember in 2019 when Kendall and I moved to Texas, our first visit before we even made it to main campus was to visit this campus here in Fort Worth. And I remember we kept driving away from the city. And Kendall's like, I'm pretty sure we're lost. The city, Fort Worth, that direction. And I remember talking to Chancellor Sharp, and I said, I thought you told me the campus was in Fort Worth. He said, just be patient. He said, the rooftops will engulf that campus within the next 5 years. And he was so right. I remember much of this campus was fairly desolate. And now, as always, John Sharp was right. And I want to thank him, and I want to thank our Board of Regents for their unwavering support. In fact, we wouldn't be here had John Sharp and the board not had the vision for this institution and this campus. The opening of our second building here at the Fort Worth campus is a huge milestone in our 125-year history. But it was 46 years ago, Dr. Lamar Johansson. Dr. Joe, will you raise your hand and allow us to say thank you? Dr. Johansson developed, solicited funding, which was really hard in those days, according to him, and launched our nationally ranked medical lab sciences program in downtown Fort Worth. It started with 8 students, and today we educate nearly 3,000 students at our Fort Worth campus alone. So Dr. Joe, your vision, and those 8 students, 1 faculty, and 1 Lamar Johansson making his way to Fort Worth to meet a need is why we're here today. So, true pioneer, Dr. Johansson. This new IPE, one more hand. This new Interprofessional Education Building, we call it the IPE building, will be a true game changer for our faculty, staff, and students. And that's where I do want to stop and recognize those groups. I would like for all of our faculty, if you're sitting, please stand. If you're standing, please raise your hand to allow us to say thank you for investing your time and your intellect into our students. So would our faculty and staff here at Tarleton State University, would you please raise your hand or stand and allow us to say thank you? And our students, Jonathan, would you please stand on behalf, and I know we have other students, if you're standing, raise your hand. If you're sitting, please stand and allow us to say thank you for choosing the crown jewel of the A&M system. At over 100,000 square feet, the IPE building will provide best-in-class and teaching, learning, and research spaces to continue our development of this Fort Worth campus master plan. This facility will allow us to continue our growth in nursing, nutrition science, communication sciences and disorders, kinesiology, psychology, and medical lab sciences. Furthermore, it provides classroom and lab space to launch new academic programs in the health sciences. Our goal is to be the not one of, but the leading provider of comprehensive health care practitioners to Fort Worth and its neighboring communities. I'm thankful that we have a mayor here in this city that values education. And all you have to do is look at Mayor Maddie Parker's track record. And she has always valued the need for education. She also understands the need for health care. And so, Mayor Parker, this is just one step of many steps that the Texas A&M system and Tarleton State University will embark upon to help the fastest growing metropolitan city in the country meet those needs. So it's an exciting day for Tarleton State. It's an exciting day for the Texas A&M system and the city of Fort Worth. But as I mentioned earlier, the true winners are our students who are benefiting from this best-in-class facility during their educational journey. When you start off planning, the planning process, and you start thinking and envisioning a project of this size and scope, some things turn out a little worse. Some things turn out a little better than expected. I want to publicly thank Perkins and Will for their incredible design of this facility. This was not an easy site. We had the contour of the rolling hill we wanted to capture. We also wanted to capture the tradition of our Tarleton brick. We also wanted to capture local stone. It was really important to be part of this, of the land, if you will, of this part of Fort Worth, Southwest Fort Worth. And they did an unbelievable job. But this room that we're sitting in, the great room in this auditorium, this was something that we talked about, we dreamed about for months after months after months, worried about how this would turn out. And what an incredible job they did. And so what an incredible facility. So once again, Chancellor Sharp, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your leadership, to our board of regents, to our legislators, to Mayor Parker and the city of Fort Worth for your unwavering support. Together, we will continue to create pathways of opportunity for future generations. And so once again, thanks to all of you for your attendance, and may you forever bleed purple. So now it's my honor to introduce the Chancellor of the Texas A&M System, John Sharp. Without his support and commitment, this day would not be possible. In 2011, the Board of Regents made the smartest hire, in my opinion, in the history of the Texas A&M system by appointing John Sharp as their Chancellor. During his tenure, the Texas A&M system has experienced unprecedented growth in enrollment, research, budget, infrastructure, and both state and federal legislative funding. John Sharp is hands down the best chancellor in all of higher education. He is committed to access, opportunity, and excellence. And I know I can speak on behalf of all Texans across the state. We are all thankful, John Sharp, for your 45 years of public service and unwavering support of all things Tarleton State University. Now, I have to tell this story because it's fun. It's a funny one. Maybe not so much for me, but the first time that John Sharp introduced me to the stakeholders of Tarleton State University, Dr. Johansson was there, many of you were there, and it was really the first time that many of the members of the community had met me as their next president. John Sharp went on to tell the story that he had 3 finalists that were submitted to him, and all 3 finalists were coming to College Station to interview with him. And he said, I have to tell you, Dr. Hurley, you were really 3rd on my list in terms of academic pedigree, credentials, personality, etc., until I met Kendall. And then you catapulted to 1, and here you are. John Sharp, thank you for hiring Kendall and allowing me to be your president. Ladies and gentlemen, the best to ever do it, our Chancellor, John Sharp.
That's good. Howdy, Texans. It is good to be here. Before I get started, I want you to take a look at Maddie Parker in maroon and how good she looks in maroon. You know, there are very few UT graduates that look that good in maroon. Now, Maddie has to leave early. Maddie has to leave early because she's going down to Royal Memorial Stadium to clean up the bottles and beer cans. Thank you, Maddie, for everything that you have done. It didn't seem like it was very long ago that we were standing on this hill. There was absolutely nothing here except a lot of wind, and it seems the wind blows every day very hard in this place. Maybe we ought to put some windmills or something here. But it was just an empty thing, but you could see all of the rooftops around here, and you knew what was fixing to happen in this neck of the woods. And I will tell you, if this is not the golden age of Tarleton State University, I don't know what the hell is. I mean, this is what is happening to this university under Dr. Hurley's leadership with the help of a great faculty and staff is just absolutely remarkable. God bless the oil wells in West Texas who continue to pump out that old oil, that $66 million of which paid for this particular building, and so we're always indebted to the oil and gas industry in that particular part of West Texas. Dr. Johansson, there were 8 students that showed up in your first class, as I recall, looking back at the history. And we dedicate this building today. The plans are already being made right now for an engineering building right there before it's over with. By the time 2030 comes around, our plan is to have 9,000 students on this campus, and knowing Hurley, it'll probably be 18,000 instead of 9,000. But this is a remarkable, remarkable time in history for Tarleton State University with just great leadership here. And it's a remarkable time for Fort Worth, and I have to sing Maddie Parker's praises again. And that is what's happening in Fort Worth with Tarleton, with Texas A&M, with that campus there. I want to introduce Bobby Adier, for those of you who haven't met him. Bobby, stand up. Oh, you already are standing up. Bobby Adier is the dean of the law school. That was the very first project I worked on as chancellor. That law school has risen in rankings faster than any law school in the United States of America's history. And is now ranked 23rd in the state, and within 4 or 5 years will be the #1 ranked law school in the state of Texas. Or Bobby will no longer be here, but this is just look around at Tarleton. Look at what has happened to the Texan ideology here, not just with this campus, but all over the place. This is going to be one of the finest health science centers locations that exist anywhere. There'll be education here as well. The truth of the matter is, we don't really talk about, this is just a precursor for the medical school that's going to be here before this is over with, right? But anyway. But we also want to thank Tarrant County, Weatherford Hill, and Collin colleges for the work that we've done with them over the years. This particular place is going to have physical therapy, speech language pathology, psychology, nursing, kinesiology, medical laboratory sciences, teacher education facilities, and it is one beautiful building. Those folks that are sitting right up here in the gallery that were in charge of building this just did a remarkable job. This is one of the most beautiful buildings that I have seen constructed anywhere on a Texas A&M campus in the 13 years or so that I've been here. Remarkable leadership combined with strong alumni support and support of our state legislators in the border regions are producing something at Tarleton State University that is, in my opinion, unmatched in this country. God bless Texans. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chancellor Sharp. Ooh, this is like, I'm dropping the mic, for real, for real. I'll make sure this doesn't do this for Mayor Parker. So we are so honored for the leadership and the grit and the gumption that it takes to lead a system at this magnitude, and for that, we are incredibly grateful. So before we move to the next speaker, we do have a special presentation as Molly Bateman from Senator Phil King's office makes her way to the stage. We wanted to share a little bit about District 10. So Senator King serves the citizens of Senate District 10, a sprawling district with a mixture of urban, suburban, and rural interests across 8 different counties. Please join me in welcoming Molly as she brings us a special presentation, and I'll actually ask President Hurley to join me back on the right side of the stage for this really special moment. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of Senator King and Senate District 10, we have a flag that was flown over the state capitol in honor of this new building and this great system. And we are so proud that this is part of our district and looking forward to working together with the Tarleton and the A&M leadership as this wonderful place continues to grow over the next few years. And so I'm pleased to present this flag.
Thank you so much. We'll get over here and take a picture.
Perfect. And we just thank you for all of your collaboration and work, and looking forward to continuing it.
Well, one thing I forgot to do is I promised Senator King that I would give him cover. So he is speaking. He is one of the keynote speakers at an AI conference, he told me, in Austin today. And he said, I don't know that I'm the right person to be speaking on AI in Austin, but I have to be there. And so he has been incredibly supportive. We're very thankful for Senator King. So thank you very much. I'll let you fix this. Here, let's take a picture.
Okay, so our next speaker is just a joy to introduce, and that's because she's not only our mayor of the city of Fort Worth, but she is also a dear friend. Mayor Parker has been successful in implementing key efforts and community partnerships to bolster Fort Worth's development, improve public safety, and expand access to education for all students, no matter their neighborhood or their zip code. In fact, she was my boss before Tarleton State, and I can attest that she really does walk the talk in every part of her life. In every conversation that she has, she puts students first, and we're honored to have her as mayor leading this great city. With the focus on improving Fort Worth for the next generation, which I know all of us in this room are passionate about, Mayor Parker is leading efforts to expand access to education. Her Mayor's Council on Education and Workforce convenes schools and business leaders to match students and their careers and their pathways from beginning to end, what we call sometimes cradle to career, ensuring students in Fort Worth are prepared to exceed both in the classroom and the workforce. Tarleton State Texans, colleagues, and guests, please help me welcome the Mayor of Fort Worth, Maddie Parker.
I was warned by Dr. Hurley not to touch the microphone, so I'm not going to do that. And Rach, I think there's some height discrimination here because I kept moving your little podium around and really calling you out. That probably wasn't very nice, was it? Okay, no, I think I'm good. Good morning and welcome to this beautiful celebration as we think about the expansion of Tarleton State University. So I was raised in the big city of Hico. I was telling Mr. Skaggs this earlier. And I told the chancellor this. My first experience on a college campus was actually at Tarleton and Stephenville. My aunt went back to school to get her education, and my cousins and I were in middle school. And probably because she didn't have childcare, we went with her to campus often, to classes. We thought it was because we were cool and got to be college students for the day. Neither here nor there. And I just realized really quickly, being a part of that experience and being on campus, what Tarleton really means to the state of Texas. As a rural kiddo, and all of you that are faculty and staff for Tarleton, let me say thank you. You transform lives every single day at your campus in Stephenville, and now importantly here in the city of Fort Worth. You also really lean in, are one of the top practitioners in your field in higher education for helping first-generation students persist. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I encourage you to talk to Dr. Hurley or Dr. Kapp about what their numbers look like in student outcomes. This university truly is one of the best in the nation at making sure first-generation students achieve that four-year degree and go on to success. And for that, I'm incredibly thankful for this institution. One other quick story, and then I really want you to hear from the star of the show today, Mr. Jonathan Alexander, who will speak to you about his journey as one of the first students here on this awesome campus. By the way, continuing to work full-time at Lockheed Martin. He had to explain to me what he does there. I still don't quite understand, but it sounds quite impressive, importantly. There's so many special things happening in the city of Fort Worth right now. And while I joked backstage that I didn't have enough purple, the reality is I wanted to maroon on purpose, and thank you for my compliment, Chancellor Sharp. But we would not be here in this place without the belief in Fort Worth and Tarrant County from the Texas A&M system. If you stop and think for a moment the amount of investment that Texas A&M is making in the city in Fort Worth and North Texas and Tarrant County specifically, it is truly awe-inspiring. And we should all be incredibly thankful. Yes, even those of us that bleed burnt orange should be very proud of the Texas A&M system. In closing, I'll say this. Sometimes I wish all of you could come alongside me for a day or a two or a week or a month to see the many tremendous things that are happening in the city. In fact, if you're blonde hair and about 5'7", I've got a job for you as a doppelganger as we try to tackle all these many different events across the city of Fort Worth. It really is a special time to be a part of this city, and higher education is at the center of that. On Thursday, I'll deliver the state of this city on behalf of the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce, and you'll hear in my remarks the importance of higher education. But no one more important than what's happening here because of Texas A&M system, and specifically Tarleton State University. To Tarleton Texans, to your alumni, to your students, congratulations and thank you for believing in this place, in this large swath of land that was empty prairie at one point, and now provides world-class education to thousands of students that are very proud to be a Texan right here in the city of Fort Worth. God bless, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Mayor Parker. And I think something we talk a lot about is what she mentioned. We are dedicated to ensuring that we get students to our institutions, but we have to be equally as dedicated making sure they get through and that they complete. So thank you for your service and your leadership. And she's right. I'm going to paint a picture a little bit about this next speaker, and Mayor Parker shared a little bit, but let me say this to faculty, staff, guests that are looking over, that are with us, maybe joining us via live stream. Jonathan Alexander and the students in this room, the students learning in these classrooms, this is why we're here. This is why our hearts beat faster. This is why we're so thrilled, Dr. McFarland, that Crowley ISD students are learning in these classrooms, in these spaces, for both instruction, for leadership, and for transformation. So Jonathan works, as mentioned, full-time at Lockheed Martin. He starts his day at 5 o'clock in the morning. He's also a father to 4, a grandfather to 1, I think maybe less than a month old. He is committed to not only making a difference for his family and for his children, but also for making a difference here at Tarleton State and this campus in particular. Please help me welcome Jonathan Alexander to give our student remarks for this morning.
Thank you all for having me on this morning. I won't prolong the hour. When I was thinking and exploring about what it means and what it has meant to me to be called to speak at this amazing event, I thought about what it means to be called, the word called. Called to speak or pay homage, called to be an educator, called to be an entrepreneur, called to be a scientist, called to save lives. Being called to anything in life means that you are the smallest part of the wheel that will be used to make a huge impact. It means that what you do, who you touch, at the end of the day, it's really not about you. You're serving a purpose that's bigger than yourself. In this time that I have been here, Tarleton University has made such a huge impact in my life. I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner, a philanthropist, a husband, a father of four, a full-time employee at Lockheed Martin, and a student here at Tarleton. Tarleton University has shifted my perspective on what it means to be a businessman here in Fort Worth, Texas. The business principles and analysis that I've learned in my coursework and applied directly to my business have not only shifted sales, but they've also shown me so many different ways that I can give back to the community. My growth as an entrepreneur has been mind-blowing. Tarleton University has been creating people who are called, remember that word called, to many different professions for over 125 years. I honestly do all of the things that I do and wear all the hats that I wear because I would like to leave a long-lasting legacy for my family. I believe the way to live eternally is to do something so worthy while you're here that it will continue to speak loud after you're gone. With Fort Worth being one of the fastest growing cities in the United States of America, it's so imperative that we house one of the greatest institutions for higher learning, and here we are at the IPE Center at Tarleton University. Someone asked me, why are you going to school at this age or at this stage in life? And I asked them, why not? You see, procrastination is not a part of business. Execution is a part of business. And I come from a long family, a long line of educators. My wife, who is currently working on her second doctoral degree, works for the Texas Education Agency at our state's capital. My father, Dr. Harold Alexander, was a longstanding principal in Fort Worth ISD. My mother, the matriarch of our family, has taught students with special needs here in Fort Worth for over 34 years. And my sister received her master's from Tarleton University last semester. And yes, everyone, I'm next. I'm next. I'm next, you're next. There's adults and there's children in your community who are next, and that's something that I'm really excited about. As I close, because I said I wouldn't prolong the hour, I'll leave you guys with the story of the great timber bamboo tree. Some of you may know the story, some of you may not. But once this bamboo tree is planted, it shows no signs of growth for the first 3 years. The IPE Center here at Tarleton University has been under construction for 3 years. Right under your nose, what the tree is doing is it's building an integral root system underneath the soil for support. Your integral root system may be the people that depend on you. It could be your faculty and staff. It could be your students. It could be everybody that's on the panel today. But once the bamboo tree does break the surface, they usually grow 90 feet within the first 60 days. So as we open the doors to this building officially that will house the professionals of tomorrow, I pray for everyone under the sound of my voice that your growth be exponential. Thank you.
Let's hear it just one more time. Jonathan Alexander. Yeah, take the deep breath. It's so good. Here's the reason why we asked Jonathan to speak, and I'm going to go off script because it's important. Most nights, 8, 9 o'clock, the individual that many of us see walking out these doors is Jonathan. He works, we didn't mention this, but he's also a student worker and works in our Rickett Library. And it's because of individuals like him that are learning in these classrooms, be it online, hybrid, or in person. It's these individuals that are sitting in this room, those that are going to listen to this story later, and his story perhaps weeks or months from now, and remember that they can do it too. that hard times and moments of tribulation and trial are worth it, that good things are often hard, that transformation and life-changing work is why we are here. And you've heard us say this often, but the reason why these are more than just windows and railing, the reason why our commitment to healthcare professions and education is community. It's to addressing food insecurity with the Tarrant Area Food Bank and our New Purple Pantry in partnership with colleagues and our student engagement success team and our global community and first gen initiatives impact. I met with our team this morning, and the thing that was on my heart the most was we are built for moments like this, with leadership, with our mayor and the mayors that serve our neighboring communities, and it's about students like Jonathan. Thank you. Thank you for being part. We want to, in closing, take a moment to give very special thanks to all the speakers, all the applause, all the thank yous that were done early today. We are truly making history here at Tarleton State and at Tarleton State Fort Worth. In a moment, I'm going to walk you through just kind of what's going to happen next because we have some exciting things. We're going to actually cut to ribbon. We're going to have a ribbon cutting. So the individuals and colleagues on the stage party here will join as a group here to my right, some of your left, at the Tarleton State logo for a ribbon cutting. We're excited that you'll participate in that with us. And after the ribbon is cut, we have about 15 stations that are throughout the entire IPE building here. At each of those stations, each of them have a plaque that you're going to see. It's an acrylic stand to designate and identify the actual stop. But here's why this is so special. In those stations, you'll hear from the faculty and the staff and the students who are making a difference in the many programs that you'll hear of, many of which are in the College of Health Sciences and the College of Science and Math. So with that, we're going to ask our stage party to go ahead and rise for us. Join me to my right and to our left. And in closing, we recommend that you just take the time to enjoy this beautiful space. We recommend that we take a moment to be together in community, and if you have a few minutes to enjoy our art exhibit in the campus administration building, housing Crowley ISD art and students. With that, thank you for being part of today. Thank you for being part of our Tarleton State family, and let's give all. Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay, everyone, please help me count to 3. Ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. Thank you again for attending today's ribbon cutting. The IPE building is now open for tours.